Two, three.
Hey everyone, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and me, Banshee. And it's me, Banshee, for my Material Matters segment. Your weekly tarot keys to success in the business world, education, and finance. Welcome to the show. Hope everybody got through last week. Whew! If I recall right, a number of us had a rough week. Some of us not so much. Let's see what this next week brings as we get closer to the holidays, week by week. All right, before we move on, of course, I'm going to do card for the collective today. And today I am using the Urban Crow Guidebook, Urban Crow Oracle, MJ Cullinane. Let's see what we get here today. Oh, okay. I'm a little upside down here. There we go. Hope everybody's getting into the holiday spirit, whichever holidays you celebrate this time of year.
Voila.
Of course. Get me started. All right. Ooh, well, an interesting card. But you know what? It's interesting because I'm filming this, of course, on the Saturday before our show. And I get the card Isolation. And it's really interesting because our card of the day today was the Hermit, which is kind of a form of isolation, but to seek out wisdom. Let's see what this card will tell us about isolation. Even when surrounded by a group, we all have experienced a feeling of being alone at one time or another. You may have offered an unpopular opinion or found yourself within a group that didn't connect. Use this time to go inward, to examine what ideas or insights come to mind. Isolation may also indicate a need to remove yourself from a situation, to quiet your mind and contemplate your next move. Very, very hermit-like in a lot of ways. I also feel here that in the business world in particular, you may find that you are not either connecting with the message or maybe you have ideas that are not connecting with others. You feel like you're not being heard, or the fact that you just don't connect with the mission of where you're at anymore. So this is a time to start sorting things out. Maybe sit back and reflect on what it is you want and where you're going in the material world. That goes for you students as well. If you're feeling disconnected, in your courses of study or even at the school you're going to, maybe some shifts and changes are necessary for us in the business world this week. So that's what I have for everybody. But of course, what the card's message is to reflect on all of this and just make sure, of where you are and where you're going. All right. Very apropos for today. Okay, so the readings are for the week of December 12th through 18th. This next week, the moon is traveling from Aries on Sunday, woohoo, through Gemini next Saturday. Mars is actually moving into Sagittarius the same day Mercury is moving into Capricorn, and that's on December 13th. That's on Monday. The full moon is in Gemini on Saturday, December 18th. Wow. So that's what's going on this week in the astrological world. All right. So how about now for our elemental signs of the zodiac? Let's see what's going on in the material world for you in the week ahead. Start with our air signs. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This reading is for you. And let me tell you something, air signs. The air's been out of control today. We've had so many windy storms. My goodness. And it's been real windy here. We're just glad we haven't lost power. And my thoughts are with everybody who suffered damage in the tornadoes in the Midwest and Midwest southern states too. Oh boy. Let's see what's going on for the air signs. Oh boy, your focus card for the week ahead is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Well, you see, lawn boy here, which is that lawnmower in the background, is too busy counting his money maybe to get anything done. Maybe this is just a little bit of a slack off period or a sluggish start to the week ahead as indicated here for you air signs. Maybe your mind is on other things than business right now, but you got to be careful not to drop the ball or pentacle there. We don't want to lose out on possible opportunities. So let's see how best you can prepare for this focus. It's the Four of Pentacles reversed. Really interesting that we have these two cards here. I do worry that this could indicate a financial loss or downturn, possibly because you just don't have your eye on the ball. Or maybe, for example, some advisors or people in business were telling you to, hurry up and make particular moves or decisions, and you didn't. And so therefore you've kind of lost out on something here. So you may have to let go of something here to moving forward this week. Let's look at other people. What's interesting? But since this is in the people around you, will there be cooperation or conflict? I feel what this is saying to me is others have tried. Others have tried to get you on track. I feel like they're here to work with you and they're just waiting, on you to kind of get it together here. I feel like they have a lot of positive input to offer and suggestions that could get you back on track again. Well, let's see if it'll work. Ultimately, by week's end, looks as though you're disappointed about something here, air signs. Apparently, maybe no matter other people's best efforts to try to move you forward, you missed a particular opportunity or you slacked off in such a way that, your business suffered in some way. You weren't there for your coworkers. It's going to reflect on you a little bit and it's going to make you feel really down on yourself. But, we all have off weeks, air signs. To me, this just has the smackings of an off week for you. Let's look at this in retrospect here. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. They're both reversed in the beginning here. And I kind of get the feeling that, you're slacking off or you're sluggish this week. Maybe your mind is on other things. Maybe you've been spending too much energy or resources in other areas of your life right now, and you're kind of dropping the ball in the material world. It's possible, too, that maybe you are overindulging in the material world a little bit here, in that maybe you've overspent, you've let too much money go. And, this is a holiday season. It's an easy trap to get into. So kind of be mindful of that. But I really do think this is in a business or investment kind of way that I'm seeing here because of the next card. I do feel people here are trying to get you back on track. They've been trying to get you to see maybe some opportunities that you just, you weren't ready for whatever reasons. And so the ball has kind of been dropped. And ultimately, I feel by week's end, air signs, you're going to feel a little disappointed with yourself. Only thing is, like I said, it is just an off week. Cut yourself some slack. This time of year gets really frenetic and crazy. And so some of us just burn out. Some of us just can't, rise up when the need arises. So don't beat yourself up too much. Better luck next week. All right. Let's move on to the fire signs. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This is for us for the week ahead. Wow, let's hope we can start some fires this week in a positive sense. One more for you. All right. Well, fire signs, your focus for the week ahead is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is upright. Little bit of contemplation going on here, fire signs. A little bit of stepping back. There are opportunities being offered, but hey, we don't have to. I think you're in a position, well, we'll see with the next card, but I think we're in a position where you don't necessarily have to just jump on every opportunity that comes along. Sometimes patience is a virtue, sometimes sitting back and contemplating next moves and making some, hey, fire signs, strategic plans instead of diving right in, maybe call for here. All right, so how best can we prepare for that focus? Well, let's make sure that what we're doing here is constructive. Let's make sure here, this is the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And so I would just say, let's make sure that this time away, this step back is to really make some plans, some strategic plans or some contemplation on next moves or what your goals really are, what opportunity you really want to pursue next, what investments you want to make, what courses you want to take next, plotting things out with purpose. Because here the Eight of Pentacles is indicating, yeah, don't just take this time and slack off. Don't just take this time to do nothing. You have to learn, you have to engage, you have to move things forward eventually. Use this time constructively to plan on what that's going to look like. I feel like with the moon is here with other people. Will there be cooperation or conflict? Well, I think possibly this week, I don't know, I feel like it's that people may have things to offer for you, but they may be hard to reach this week. It just might be that you aren't getting through to them, or you're not getting the message from them. There just seems to, or maybe some of what you're hearing, I would say for you people who are investing, or, you're looking at new partnerships or deals, things like that. I would look very carefully at what people are presenting to you. Are you seeing everything for what it truly is? Because sometimes the moon can talk about illusions and things that are hidden. So make sure you read the fine print on anything you sign and things of that nature, anything you commit to. Ultimately, will there be forward or backward movement or no movement at all for the fire signs this week? Well, hey, fire signs. I like it. There's a nice balance here, healthy balance going on. We have temperance upright. And so I feel here that this is a time, by week's end, we will feel a little bit more in tune with things and in rhythm. I think our rhythm is restored. And I think this will come out clearer as we move along here. Basically, we start out with this idea of stepping back and really contemplating next steps, next goals, next moves. We don't have to capitalize on an opportunity or anything that's coming our way right now. We can kind of just sit back and plan, do some strategic planning, which of course is hard to do sometimes for us. Sometimes we get off track. Sometimes we get a little lackadaisical and lazy. Just because you're having a little downtime here, fire signs, does not mean you should take your eye off your work. This is work. The planning, the strategizing, the contemplation. Consider it work and put your best efforts out there. Don't just throw something together. And also, as you're moving forward this week, be aware that other people, might be trying to move you in directions that you need to investigate more. You need to look at more carefully, read the fine print, make sure every T and I is dotted, make sure this is really what meets your expectations. You're working arrangements and agreements with them. For those of you who are maybe getting new jobs, make sure, you understand up front everything that, you are facing on this new job. What your benefits truly are, what you're giving up or getting. So make sure everything is on the up and up. And ultimately, if you do all that, I feel that harmony will be restored. It seems as though you are back on track. You feel like you are in a rhythm again, a smooth rhythm. So it really does all fit together so long as you take the time you need to strategize, fire signs. Good luck with that. Hey, my friends, the water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, this is for you for the week ahead. Will there be a deluge of cash? Hopefully that and not that. Don't want to see that, water signs. Okay. Okay. Here's to you. A little sunny water today with my lemon in it. Oh, don't I always say this? This card comes up a lot in our financial readings, upright or reversed, and oftentimes the first card. It's the Fool. The Fool is reversed. Water signs, water signs, water signs. So, what's happening here? It looks as though you're right from the get-go taking that leap off a ledge when maybe this isn't the right time to be taking any risks or gambles. This is a time to kind of stay back and assess the landscape before you take that leap. Oftentimes we're risk takers in the financial world, in the material world. We want to just charge in. And, of course, there's things that we learn from failure and we move on and we bounce forward. But I think this failure could be a little bit more costly. So I'm just saying, step lightly at the beginning of this week. Don't take any unnecessary risks or chances because there could be bad news. The Page of Wands is reversed here, water signs. It could be some bad news heading your way in regards to career, in regards to new enterprises, things that you were brainstorming or ideas you wanted to bring into fruition. Maybe possibly a loan you were expecting doesn't come through to help you finance your schemes. There is setbacks. There's news of setbacks, and it's related to taking this risk. So I wouldn't go there. That's just my advice, water signs. Look at this. The Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is upright for the people around you. Will there be conflict or cooperation? I feel there's disappointment. There's disappointment. Either that we have to forego taking this chance or risk right now, or because you did it. And now there's fallout and it's affecting other people. And even though there's something left, even though there's lessons to be had, maybe even progress to be made with what remains, people are kind of dwelling on the loss, or the loss, whichever it is. So ultimately, water signs, is there forward or backward movement for you, or no movement at all this week? We have strength reversed. So this is a week where I feel if you have, aggressively taken moves or steps, or risks and gambles that you thought would make you some quick money or some quick profit or get you some brownie points, it's going to backfire. I feel it's going to backfire. It's not putting you in a better position. It's making you putting you more on shaky ground than you were before. So let's take a look at this. I feel like this week starts off with you possibly gambling, taking a risk on something that you should not have, because ultimately you're going to find some bad news is coming in. It's not paying off. People are not happy about the situation. Looking over there in the position of how others are feeling about this. They're depressed, possibly demoralized. They feel like either you did not listen to them, or maybe that they gave you the wrong advice to begin with to go for this. There's a lot of regrets, I feel, here with all of these cards in a way. And so ultimately, I feel by week's end, water sign, that you are not in a strong position. It has weakened your state in some way. So the best advice I can give you going forward is to, if something seems too risky, maybe even that it just seems too good to be true, you want to dive right in with no holds barred, take a moment to think about that before you do. And maybe hold back for another week. Oh, good luck with that, water signs. Wish you the best. Hey, earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. What's happening? What's shaking? This is for you. Let's hope, if nothing else, that your financial affairs are solid as a rock this week. Okay. Your focus for the week ahead is the Empress. The Empress is upright. Well, what a nice positive start here we have. That's really good. I mean, it's showing that productivity is bearing fruit. Some of the work that you have putting into something is now coming to fruition. New ideas are sprouting up. You just seem to have a lot of creative potential around you starting in this week. And if I recall right, I think you guys had one of the better weeks last week. I could be wrong, but I think you did. So you're starting off on a good track here so far. So then, why are we feeling this way? How best to prepare for your focus? The sun is reversed. So, it never hurts, when you're moving forward on your goals, your ideas, your projects, to sometimes think about the worst case scenario. What could go wrong in a situation? What could hinder your success or progress? I feel that maybe, you should look at the situation from both sides, what you have to gain from all these ideas and the growth that is happening right now, and what could happen if things go south. Are you prepared for that? Maybe this is a good time to do what I like to say is some disaster planning. It's something that people don't do enough of. We always wait for a crisis to happen. Think about the crises first, and don't be negative, like bring this upon yourself. Just be proactive and say, so that you can be ready for anything that comes your way. What about people around you? Well, people around you might be getting a little bit carried away. It's the Page of Cups reversed, and I feel as though they are, you got to watch. In some cases, I feel that maybe, hey, it's the holidays, people are kind of have their minds on other things right now. So they might be a little bit scattered, but also they might be coming up with some really crazy kind of ideas. So I would be, a little bit cautious dealing with others. Make sure you vet, any new investments or major financial moves, and do some research before you buy into anything, because I just feel like people may just be going out on tangents here, out on a limb with their ideas, and we need to bring them back down to earth a little bit. There's maybe we have to think of what we can realistically accomplish, and also, what realistic rewards we can anticipate from, their ideas going forward. Ultimately, will there be forward or backward movement or no movement at all? Well, I do think it depends on you, Earth signs. We have judgment here. Are you going to heed the wake-up call? You see that trumpet blaring in the background here. So, Earth signs, I feel this is a time where you need to think about all of what we have just said here, and are you going to make the right decisions? Are you going to think soundly about what your next move should be? Are you going to carefully, strategically plan so that for whatever happens, you are prepared for success or for failure? It's on you. I feel like this decision and the choices that you make will dictate how things turn out by week's end. And actually, I almost feel by week's end that maybe it's still a work in progress. Maybe, this whole week has been setting something else up for you that's going to be happening, more in the future. Let's take a look at this again. We have the Empress here upright. The Empress is indicating that, there's a lot of creative potential here. There's actually could be some rewards coming from some work and effort you have already done. There's also just a whole lot of ideas and brainstorming going on. It's all very constructive. But the Sun is saying here, hey, things have been really good. But are you prepared for when they're not? Are you prepared for anything that could happen? The economy is kind of shaky right now, so we have a lot of inflation. We have a lot of things going on. COVID is flaring up again. So are you really preparing yourself for whatever could happen? People around you might want you to just go for broke. They have all kinds of ideas and schemes and things, but let's bring it back down to reality and see what's workable and what's really in your best interest during these kind of topsy-turvy times right now. And ultimately, that's what judgment might be all about here, depending on the decisions you make, the choices you make for yourself, keeping to good high standards. I feel that it's on you, that what you decide can make or break your moves going forward. This is what I have for you, Earth signs, for the week ahead. Good luck with that. All right, so hey everybody, we have been busy beavers here on our end. I want to let you know that right now we have yearly readings available on our website for purchase. They are on sale, and the bigger the reading, the bigger the savings. You can check them out in our tarot spread shop, excuse me, at tfttarotfortoday.com, and definitely consider buying either a PDF or a video reading from us. You won't be sorry. It's always good to keep abreast of what the new year is going to have in store for you. Don't forget about Mr. O's shows, Goth Tarot, every Wednesday at 8 a.m. as my brain fries. Every time you need to think in terms of the darker sides, the shadow issues in your life, Goth Tarot is here to work on that with you. And also, Mr. O's Emotional Exchanges at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday, so that you can be prepared for those emotional roller coasters that we all face. So check that out every Friday. Happy Hour is on and running every Saturday. I believe the next one will be at 10... 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes we move it depending on Mr. O's work schedule, so 3 p.m. next Saturday. And come and get a positive message for the week. We all need to get an uplifting message from Spirit, and Spirit is ready to deliver on happy hour. So that's all I have for us this week. Take care, everybody. Good luck with the week ahead, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.